that there are traffic or county impact fees available to help pay for some of these projects, with the caveat that they would want to see it completed by October 2024. We have already started the permitting process for both of these projects. We actually have the signage, crosswalk, and low-level landscaping and lighting permit approved by SCDOT, and we just got word this morning that they will approve the crosswalk projects as well. We just need to submit a maintenance acceptance letter. With that said, the county has already approved an IGA back in April for $600,000. This will go towards a significant amount of the work for these projects. So with that, I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Alfred.
Mr. McAwee, could you describe in a little further detail the pedestrian crossing signs that are going to be replaced and what the beacon is? Is the beacon facing oncoming traffic?
Yes, sir. So it's called, and this is hard for me to say, a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, or RRFB. And basically, it sits at the bottom of a pedestrian, you know, your typical diamond yellow pedestrian sign with the person crossing the road. The light sits below that, and when a pedestrian goes across the crosswalk, they'll push a button, and those lights get activated.
All right, so it's
you'll
similar
see
to
it from-
pushing the button now. But with
There
a
is no
light?
button now. Right now, people would cross the road whenever there's a break in traffic.
Ah.
So ideally, this is really useful at night. If someone's going to cross the road or in low-level lighting, they'll hit it, and those lights start flashing, and it warns the vehicles that a pedestrian is crossing the road. And then we were also working on a permit to install the puck lighting, which is the in-pavement lighting. So those will go in unison with the RRFBs once they get approved. But SCDOT is a little weary to permit those, but we're working on that encroachment permit separately.
What's your estimated timeline for completion of installation?
So we've already ordered the RRFBs. We believe will be, I think they come the last week in July, and we have the job order ready for our signal technician, German technical group. They're going to do the install for that. I imagine by mid to late August they'll be installed.
I have a question. How many intersections are these going to be installed?
So the RRFBs will just be up in the Northridge area between Dillon Road and Beach City Road, mainly there in front of Sea Turtle Cinema where the gas station crosswalk is. And then the other crosswalk improvements are every intersection across the island that has the old style crosswalks. So all those will be that new ladder style continental crosswalk.
Good.
So will these flash during daytime as well as in the evening?
They will. Whenever they're activated by a pedestrian, they'll flash. Obviously in the day, they won't be as prevalent as you'll see it at night. That's the key, is to get them activated.
So is there a timing set on those, how long they flash?
I'm pretty sure I'd have to ask Jim for the actual timing. We can set it for typical with the pedestrian signals. When you cross at a signalized intersection, you know how there's that countdown. I'm sure we'll time it the same way, where you have 15 to 20 seconds, whatever it may be, to cross that road.
That makes sense. And so one of the crosswalks is there near the Oaks
It is.
where we have so many unfortunate accidents.
Right, and so we're going to put some signage in to direct people to cross at this crosswalk. The lit one will be, like I said, right there by Starbucks, crossing over to, I think it's the Circle K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. McAwee, I know we were in the process of acquiring I think, encroachment permit from SCDOT to sort of cover the whole corridor as far as us being able to do work and not have to keep asking them for a permit.
Right.
Do we have status on that?
So we have not gone for the whole corridor yet, other than these intersection stripings. I think we are bringing the major thoroughfares corridor plan back to council in September at a workshop, and then we would ask for that to be approved at the following council meeting. Once council approves that, then we'll probably take that entire document and have SCDOT bless it, get a blanket encroachment permit, and so everything that's in that document, we could then just go and implement. Right now, we're kind of piecemealing the encroachment permits just to get this work done.
Got it. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Right. Good morning, Councilwoman Becca.
Good morning.
How are you? Councilman Ames is not here. Well, he told me that he would, so I'm going to apologize for him. But you're welcome to join us, please, if you can. Thank you. We're just discussing the intergovernmental agreement with Beaufort County on the corridor improvements.
I have that packet, so thank you.
You mentioned additional landscaping. Is that going to be in an attempt to try to?
Guide.
Yes.
Yes, guide
Yes,
folks
okay.
to not cross where there's, I guess, easy access now, where there aren't any crosswalks or at a location that's not identified as a crosswalk.
Right.
Yeah, it's to hopefully send them down towards that light and activate those signals.
Good.
You
Sounds good.
referring to signage?
Yes, we're going to add some signage that says protected crosswalk or, push button crosswalk available. I don't know what the exact text is right now, but something to guide everybody towards that RRFB.
And what kind of a timeline is that on?
It'll be installed with all of this.
Okay. And then Mr. Anuki, not too long ago, mentioned additional shrubbery in the middle that would discourage people from trying to cross between. And I don't know whether he was referring to barbed wire or pricker bush.
I don't have the exact, our landscape manager is working on that plan, but I'm imagining low level, whether it might be palmettos or Indian hawthorn, something like that, that could cluster up and prevent people from walking
And
through it.
that, from a time point of view, that's all part of the same.
It would be all part of this.
Thank you.
Correct.
Any questions? No. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
I have another, if I might, except I've already forgotten it. Oh, the procedure on this is that we're recommending this forward to council?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank
And
you.
then full council would approve it. then,
Understood.
Mr. Orlando could sign off on the IGA.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any public comment on this particular item? Yes. Good morning.
Thank you. Very supportive of any safety improvements, especially for pedestrians and bicyclists. And I was excited to see that you have a $600,000 reimbursement that's going to be coming from Beaufort County, so that's great. I did look at the CIP, and it is listed in the CIP, and it is listed without any dollar impact because it says that it's going to be funded through impact fees from Beaufort County. So my question is a simple one. Will the $600,000 cover all the cost of the project? Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. You can, sure, absolutely.
That's a great question. Segment 3, corridor segment 3 was budgeted for $500,000, and the source was the Beaver County IGA. And then the crosswalk and intersection improvements project is a separate line item, and that was budgeted for $900,000 with the electric franchise fee being the source. So the IGA will more than cover the corridor segment 3 work, and then additional work will be put towards those crosswalks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, seeing no other public comment, be prepared to make a motion to recommend this to full council.
So moved.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Next on our agenda, we'd like to welcome up Miss Adriana Burnett, our new finance director. How are you this morning?
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning again, committee members. Good morning, community members. Yes, I am physically here. And for those of you that don't know, my official starting day was April 1st, and I spent 2 months working remotely, and now I'm actually physically here, and guess what? I love this place. I love your island, our island. and this is home now. So today I'm not here to present a 45-page financial report. Today I'm actually here to talk about my last 3 months working here, the things that I have observed, the things that I have noticed that we need to work on, and I'm here to talk about my vision and what I see happening in the next few months, and in some cases in the next few years, because change does not happen in one day. What is that saying? Rome was not built in one day. Well, it applies for us here too. I take the role of finance director very, very seriously. I see the finance department, I call them the finance team, and I see us as the custodians of the money that we receive from our taxpayers. Not only from the taxpayers, but also from our visitors, the people that come to our island. Our role is to bring more clarity into our numbers, to use our money wisely, to make sure we have controls in place, and to be accountable to our community for every penny we have the privilege to administer. And I have a lot to say, so I have to have notes. So right now I'm doing an assessment. I'm doing an assessment of our finance department, and I have put my findings in 3 pillars. The first one is the people component, the second one is process, and the third one is technology. So let's start talking about people. You probably know this better than anybody. We have members of our community that are living on this island that are part of our town hall. They're part of our staff. I myself my son is going to school here on Hilton Head. So we are personally vested in this community. I have found my finance team to be people that truly care about their jobs. They all work very hard. The finance team have worked a lot of weekends and late nights for 8 consecutive months to get the budgets for fiscal year 25 completed and ready for approval. They worked tirelessly in making sure our short-term rentals work was developed and executed. And I have many, many other examples. The development opportunity here is not that our people don't work hard. It's just that we're not working smarter. I'm not saying that there are wrong things. I'm just saying that we need to work more efficiently. So as a result, there's going to be some restructuring that is going to take place in the next few weeks in our finance department. This restructure will allow us to move employees to other areas, creating efficiencies in our processes, and also professional development and growth. A good example of this restructure is going to be the creation of a new CIP administration team. This is the team that will be responsible for the financial management of our capital projects. They're going to work very closely with the engineering and CIP teams and other teams in the town hall. We want to facilitate the financial communication for all our projects. We just approved a $74 million budget. That is a big number. I know there is no additional headcount, but I want to make sure that we understand where our money is going. I want people to understand how much we're spending on specific projects. And I want to work very closely with the rest of the team to make sure that we have the right reporting. So whenever Ms. Tammy asks me, where are we with this project? We can say we are 25% complete and this is how much money we have spent. The second pillar is process. I have received some comments from members of the community over coffee meetings, and I thank those community members for their feedback. No complaints, no raised voices, just constructive feedback. And I'm taking that feedback very seriously. We have some challenges with our financial reporting. I know there's a lack of understanding in some cases. To be very honest, I don't like our financial reporting. I don't like the length of our reporting, and in some cases, how we don't manage to explain numbers better. Sometimes there's confusion. I myself, I'm reading the reports and I don't understand where we are. I'm not saying again, let me make this clear. I'm not saying that our numbers are wrong. I'm saying that our reporting needs to be improved. I will be posting the last 3 months of financials on our website as is, but I will be changing how we will report our numbers going forward for our fiscal year 25. We will be doing more analytics, better reporting, better forecasting, better tracking, better explanations, and like I call it all the time, less is more. We will also look at our process for business licenses, permits, and our overall communication. The last pillar that I have is technology. I believe in automation. I believe in using tools to facilitate our process. We need to improve our technology within the finance team. Again, it is not about working harder, but smarter. I want to be able to provide you with information in real time and not 2 or 3 months later. I want our finance department to transition from a tactical, process-driven organization to a more strategic-based, analytical organization. My last comment, I might sound like I'm running a business here, and I want to sound like we're running a business. We have a business of $167 million in budget. That is a huge number, and I want to make sure that I can provide you the information that you need. I want to hear if I get a call from Mr. Brown and say, where does this come from? I want to be able to answer that question, and not a week later, 2 weeks later, or a month later. Again, I'm here to stay, and I do welcome your feedback and every member of the community, and I want constructive feedback. And if there's something that I'm not doing, I would like for you to tell me. So that's the only way we can fix it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Don't leave. I'm sure there's going to be some comments and questions from my colleagues here. Mr. Stanford, yes.
Thank you. Again, I want to say welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here. We're looking forward to the project that you're undertaking. I think it's time for a fresh look at our finances. I've been on this committee now almost 6 years, and sometimes I've got too much information and it's not distilled so that I can into like an executive summary sort of thing, which is what I like to look at. And I always look at variances, big variances. If we're on budget, we're doing what we're supposed to do. If we have a big variance, something is wrong or something has changed, not necessarily in a bad way, but we need to understand that. So again, welcome. We look forward to the changes you're going to make, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Second?
Welcome. We are happy that you're here. I know that the finance team has always done a phenomenal job for Hilton Head. We've been well-positioned always, and we look forward to you continuing that. Your ideas and changes that you've spoken about, I think will help me provide a little bit more analysis and understanding of the data, and that will be easier for me to go out and give that to the constituents who are asking for it. So I appreciate your effort in that regard. You have a great staff to work with, a great team.
Yes.
And I look forward to what's going to happen in the future. And thank you.
Just want to add my welcome as well, and glad you're off to a good start, even though it commenced on April Fool's Day.
April 1st, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Burnett. Just a couple things. You mentioned that some of the change is going to take maybe days and some may take years. I'm focusing on the process bucket and the technology bucket. What percentages of those are going to take years, I guess is the question.
So as it relates to process, there are things that we have to do now, and that's what I call short wins, and is in terms of reporting. One of the things that is going to happen right away is going to be the CIP administration. There's a lot of money right now on the table as it relates to the $74 million. That's going to be now. The second thing on financial reporting is making sure that variances are answered, that we understand if we have a big variance, and I call a big variance anything over 10%. We need to have an explanation. Those things are going to happen now. The way we close our books, making sure that we are not taking a long period of time to close our books, trying to look at the processes that we have in place. Do they make sense, yes or no? How we manage our cash. I will manage our cash in a wise, smart way. Make sure that we are tracking our revenues. How much money are we getting? What are we projecting in the future? Those things are going to happen now. Things that are going to happen probably a little bit longer is in relation to technology. Right now, we need to assess is the software that we have the right software to have. Last configuration for us, our software happened in 2001. It's been a while. So we need to look at our technology and understand if the software we have either is the right one, is there a user issue that we're not fully utilizing the system, or if we need to transition to something else, and what is that something else? And that will take some time. Most likely it will take probably a year by the time we can get to a point where we can say this software is the right thing or it's just not. So things like that. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we look forward to engaging with you at our next meeting with a financial report. I'm sure you'll have your new touch on that. And we look forward to supporting you in your changes as we move along. And I really like the fact that you've already made your way into the community to have some discussions. So I'm going to open it up here for public comment. If anyone wants to make comments on this particular item. No? Okay. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Seeing none, we find ourselves adjourned.